Outside of Bill Gates, nobody's really optimistic about the future of Anheuser Busch, but specifically of Bud Light. And yeah, here we are, 6 months into this absolute destruction of an entire brand. And well, everybody's starting to come around to realize that about a third of our consumer base is just never coming back, man. This is life now. And then we're probably going to start hearing about the reduced shelf space, and that's going to suck on top of all of this stuff. But hey, man, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So Bud Light sales are still floundering months after the disastrous partnership with transgender TikTok star Dylan Mulvaney, who is, by contrast, doing exceptionally well. Winning awards, taking shots at Bud Light, but then is still mad when the company it didn't reach out to me, and I was facing so much backlash, none of which we've ever seen proof of. But it's kind of a common theme running through a bunch of different stories out there right now. Danny Masterson stuff has really got me shook. I'll do a video on that probably tomorrow in a little bit more depth, but regardless, back on topic here. You see, Bud Light is still stubbornly down around 30% in volume compared to last year, which is where it's been since May or June. Well, April as well, but who's keeping track, really? Beer Business Daily publisher Harry Schumacher told Fox News Digital. That tells me that there's a quasi-permanent. Quasi? Yeah, I guess I could probably start to climb back, but at what point? You've got half a year data. You got half a year's data to figure out that 30% of people, they're done, man. They found alternatives, or hopefully, God willing, they decided to sober up. But chances are they're probably just out there drinking something else, meaning those consumers are just lost forever. So what's the quasi part doing with that? Schumacher's remarks came less than a month after it was revealed that Anheuser Busch InBev-owned company had won back 15% of its boycott drinkers. And then you look at the sales numbers and go, okay, 15% of people have come back. They just aren't buying anything? What, you just sent them out some merch and they didn't decide to set it on fire, or, just apply return to sender? Like, what are we doing? Bud Light, which lost its top spot to Modelo after the controversy, is down 26.9% in dollars and 30.3% in volume. 30.3%, not 30.3%. That doesn't make any sense. He said, citing Bump Williams, Consulting, the publisher believes that it is likely the company will continue to see similar year-over-year declines for the foreseeable future. Yeah, it'll be really tough because they're putting a lot of money into this NFL season. We'll see if that ends up working out for them. At least until April and May of 2024, when they lap the controversy. Yeah, man, we'll see. Then you'll just be able to see, okay, is it holding true with the 2023 numbers, or has there been any perceivable rebound? Sucks, man. I think the industry thought it would have rebounded by now, but it hasn't. Oh yeah, we've covered all of those articles out there going, hey guys, Bud Light, it's coming back right now. You could see the records. Oh, we found bottom and it's only climbing up from here. And then you continue to get the sales reports just going, no, actually, nobody's buying it. And still there's that stigma that's out there that it's, Bud Light is simply tranny fluid, or they have even more creative and hilarious names, but I'd still like the hope of monetization and, to keep this up on YouTube, which funnily enough, I had a video, side note for a second, I had a video that got struck with an age restriction from last week at one point or another. The trans teacher with the gigantic prosthetic tits that ended up getting a new job, it got hit with an age restriction. Their valid reason for it? Hilarious. It infringed on the community guidelines. It's like, yeah, okay, that's what there was a community guidelines infraction that led to the age restriction. What community guideline did I break? The community guidelines. The hell? Ended up getting reversed, and obviously it's a moot point, but it's just going to show, man, like especially over at Alphabet and Google and YouTube, they're ramping up for something extreme. 2024 is definitely going to be the year to make sure that you check me out on Rumble. That's 1,000% true. It's actually worse than just lost sales, because now it's getting to the point of becoming it's becoming systemic within the industry, and they're losing the confidence of retailers, and that's when it starts getting bad. Yeah, because right now, well, it's kind of a meme. It's a meme that's kind of just devolved, or rather evolved, the opposite of that, into a self-sustaining stigma that has just permeated all of culture. Like, outside of the people that track this stuff vociferously and make updates on it whenever they come out, regular people know all about this controversy. They might not even know who Dylan Mulvaney is, but they sure as hell know that Bud Light's for about 10% of the population. He believes next summer will be a big indicator of the brand's long-term success as it works to regain its once cult following. Yeah, because there were Bud Light drinkers. I'm a Coors man. I'm a Corona dude. I'm a seltzer person. As also, there's a rough winter. Oh, he thinks that a rough winter is looming for Bud Light, whose only saving grace is the wholesaler connections. Yeah, I guess, but the wholesalers, and we've talked about them as well, the local hookups, they aren't exactly all that thrilled with what's going on right now, because all of that supplementary cash that they kind of have to jump through hoops in order to claim only runs until the end of the year. So we'll see probably in the spring, in the early months of 2024, how much enthusiasm there is for the brand. Seems somewhat powerless to fix it, except to remain really active in their local communities, which they've done and which they've always done, and really, that's kind of the only saving grace that the brand has, is the local connection that the wholesalers have. Yeah, scandal exploded, yeah, we already know all of that stuff, but as opposed to just going out there and doing local outreach, I think it's probably long past time, even if they decide to grab their ankles and go, we're sorry. It's not really going to work at this point in time because, well, that time has passed. That time passed months ago before you had both of the CEOs at the U.S. level with Brendan Whitworth and then Michael Ducares at the InBev global level, just saying, oh no, everybody's just stupid and we just need to refocus on something. Hey, you guys like football, so we're going to spend a lot of money with football. Don't really know how well that's working because, well, NFL, it decided to kick off the season on Thursday. Tomorrow's the big day. Obviously, NFL on Sunday and all that shit. Okay, a lot of people are going to be excited for that. Me, I'm going to be working, barely paying attention unless something, is notable. But the one thing that was notable outside of the Lions, the fucking Lions, man, beating the reigning and defending Super Bowl champions on their home turf, was the fact that they kicked off the season by performing the Black National Anthem again. Who the fuck does that actually appeal to? Black people that like the NFL, they don't want to see that pandering shit. And the best that you're going to do, okay, try to appeal to the wokies that are out there, okay? Oh, see, guys, we're so good. We have the Black National Anthem for a league that's disproportionately black. It's like sports, theoretically, is the most egalitarian playing field you're going to get. But you're going to decide to start bifurcating everything. Okay, if you have a Black National Anthem, why not the Latino national anthem? And then you got to delve into, okay, what does it mean to be Latino? You got a Dominican one, you got a Guatemalan one, you got the Mexican one. Okay, what about you're going to start having homage paid to other roots from other high profile people that are on the team? Like, where does this insanity end? For me, you're playing within the confines of the greatest country on the face of the earth. Pay homage to it, and then you play the little Leatherfoot ball game. It's really goddamn simple, but no, you got to go ahead and mess it all up in order to just go ahead and appeal to a crowd who's never going to watch your product and is only going to beg for more diversity, inclusion, and equity. It's never enough for these people. So good luck, Bud Light, in order to try to leech off some of the popularity of the NFL, because most of the diehards that are still watching that stuff are just gritting their teeth and bearing it because they like their team. They've grown up with their team. But we've seen the popularity of Bud Light drop off precipitously in other sports. Earlier this year, we were talking about Fenway Park, a Blue Jays game and a Red Sox game where absolutely nobody, the beer kiosks in like the third inning were empty. They had Bud Light completely on display, but nobody at Fenway Park wanted to drink on a sunny Sunday or on a Sunday matinee game. I don't remember if it was Sunday. I think it was a Tuesday, regardless, but nobody wanted to drink at a baseball game. Are you ridiculous? No? Okay. And to just compound that, we got a legend, like a legit legend out here. We got David Boomer Wells, right? Blasts woke culture and Bud Light, covers up Nike logo on the Yankees jersey. Oh yeah, he's taking a blowtorch to all this shit because Boomer's fucking based and is a long-suffering Blue Jays fan. Okay, I've got a special affinity for David Wells as well. He was the guy who kind of bridged the gap between the halcyon days of the early 90s teams, and then when Roy Halladay turned back up, he was locking it down for the pitching staff there. So, hey, tip of the cap to David Wells. Seen him throw a fair few long inning outings. That's what I love so much about baseball. Like, when it comes to professional sports, it's definitely my favorite, but I just can't watch it anymore. Rob Manlett fucked it all up for everybody. Oh, we just had neat pitch clocks. Oh, we need a runner on second in the second inning. Basically, we're just one step away from fucking multi-ball. But if I was just to lay out all of my problems with the game, it'd be an entirely different video in and of itself. I'll just go ahead and listen to what David Wells has to talk about it. Christ almighty, the dude pitched, what was it, the 25th perfect game in MLB history. Like, he's got the credentials. He could theoretically be a Hall of Famer, but we'll let him cook. We'll let Boomer cook. And did not hold back in a passionate rant against woke culture on Saturday. Returned to Yankee Stadium for the Yankees' annual Old Timers game, the two-time World Series champion, let into the Nike and Bud Light, rolls in today's culture war. We're in a different world, Wells said, with a piece of medical tape covering up the Nike logo. Fucking based, bro, on his Yankees jersey, per The Athletic. It sucks. That's why everybody should carry a gun. Fucking yo, man, this is... they don't build them like they used to. Wells said if he were playing today, he would have he'd have to cut a hole in his jersey and worn it on the field rather than feature a Nike logo across his chest. I hate Nike. They're woke. Oh, man. This is why we can't have nice things anymore, because David Wells would be... Fuck, he's in good shape, man. Back when he was playing, that's another reason... Like I was saying before, I love baseball. I love baseball for the fact that it is realistically more athletic chess. Everything that you got to do when it comes to formatting a pitching sequence, when to steal a base, when to bunt, when to shift your defense. It's just so tactical. I know everybody's like, oh, it's a slow game. Like, bitch, have you ever watched the NFL on television? It was one of the most infuriating things that you can possibly see. But then throw that on top, like I remember, when David Wells was pitching, and then you had guys like Boof Bonzer and CC Sabathia, just like fat, unassuming guys, like big portly dudes, but they could absolutely throw heat. Like Babe Ruth, probably the greatest baseball player ever, shaped like your uncle. They're the best at what they do. That's why I love baseball, man. It's easy to learn, difficult to master. Anyways, back to what, David's saying here. Wells, 60, who compiled a 18-4 record with 214 innings for a legendary 1998 Yankees team. Their first championship in well over a decade. Said he felt companies like Bud Light were spending too much time involving themselves in politics and culture. You would be correct, sir. Asked if he would ever drink Bud Light again, which partnered with tranny influencer Dylan Mulvaney this year, his answer came easily. Nope. The left-hander, who spent 21 years pitching in Major League Baseball and 4 with the Yankees, also ripped MLB's culture. Let him cook. Let him cook. Which he said he felt coddles players. You're fucking right, man. Like I said, if I wanted to make another video on it, and talk about all of this stuff in specifics, I would focus a lot on what's happening with the Chicago White Sox specifically over the past couple of years. The fact of the matter is, you had one of the best, probably the best living manager coaching your team. You had Tony fucking La Russa, and you ran the dude out of town just because you wanted to cater to the whims of Tim the Diva Anderson. Come the fuck on, man. And now look at them. They're scraping the bottom of the worst division in all of baseball. But I digress. It always seems that the general managers, the managers, and all they want, all of that are getting fired and getting blamed for it. And it's the players' fault. Yeah, exactly. And again, focus specifically on what's happening with the Chicago White Sox. And you could even take a look at what's going on with the Yankees right now. Just too many people playing for the name that's on the back. It's kind of wrong when it comes to the Yankees, because they're the only team that's left with numbers, which, as a man of tradition, I really like. And given the fact that, the Yankees actually have some sort of a dress code that's out there, you're only allowed to have certain mustaches, your hair must be kept at a certain length. That's why I like baseball, just traditions, man. But anyways, if you're not doing your job out on the field, and if I was the GM, I would start sending a message. Yeah, exactly. You're gone. You're getting shipped to Miami. Okay, you might have a fun time partying, but you get to play for the Marlins. I'm shipping you off to the Brewers for a case of beer. Not Bud Light, though. You can keep that shit. But yeah, he's 1,000% right. And that's why he's never going to get another job in the big leagues. Wells' comments seem to deflect blame off Yankees general manager Brian Cashman. He's tried, man. He's tried real fucking hard. And yeah, to his credit, probably ended up giving out a contract. Well, he did. He got the big extension for Aaron Judge after he set the AL home run record, and then also was an MVP, and also picked up Garrett Cole by throwing a lot of money at him, I guess, but probably the guy who's going to end up winning the AL Cy Young at the end of the year. So yeah, he's tried the best to put the best players in place, and yeah, when Aaron Judge is ultimately healthy, he's going to end up producing for you, and he has. Giancarlo Stanton, on the other hand, yeah, well, we already kind of knew that he was going to be a glass cannon, but as for the rest of the stuff, he's trying, man. And I'm not even somebody who likes the Yankees like that. Fuck, like I said, I'm a Blue Jays fan. Okay, I hate the Yankees, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Who has received widespread criticism this season for his role in constructing an unbalanced roster that has landed the Yankees in last place in the American League East. Yeah, the American League East with the fucking Baltimore Orioles on the top. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Followed by the Rays, and then I think it's still the Blue Jays in third. Like, that entire division is totally fucked. Nobody could have figured it would have ended up like this. Everybody was anticipating the Orioles to end up, fighting it out for worst record in the league, but here they are, leading the most competitive division in baseball. It's fucking weird. He also thought that the teams should be harsher in the way that they treat players. You're goddamn right. That's what led to a lot of those dynastic teams for the Yankees back in the cut. They got treated appropriately. I don't care who it was. If he was in a stink hole, pardon my French. Pause. If you can say that now, I don't know. Send a son of a gun to AAA or AA and send him a wake-up call. Yeah, exactly. If you're not performing, well, go work on your swing. Go work on your pitches down there in the minors for a second. They did that to me. They did that to a lot of us back in the day. Yeah, like Roy Halladay, man. He came in and he almost had I think he almost had a no-hitter until he blew it in the ninth. I think 1 out or 2 outs left. Put one over the in his first start. He had somebody put one over the wall, and then in his next start and his next few starts, he ended up just absolutely imploding on the mound. Went down, worked on it, and then came back out and became one of the best pitchers of an entire generation in the afterwards. But yeah, not letting guys perfect their craft, humble them a little bit, because now everybody who's a fucking high tier prospect just comes in and is totally gassed up. I'd partially put the blame of that on Bryce Harper, but he's kind of settled into a clubhouse leader, unlike a lot of other guys that are out there. And he'll always eternally have my respect on this one. This is not just a Roy Halladay appreciation video, but, if I have the opportunity to, I'm going to. Bryce Harper's number when he was with the Washington Nationals was 34, the same number Roy Halladay wore when he was with the Phillies. And when he came over, he said, nope, there's only going to be one number, 34. And he changed his number to 7. So, yeah, you're definitely going to get my respect for that one. That was a classy ass move. They hadn't even retired the number at the time. Anyways, send a message to them and let them say, I'll let them go, sit down there, and let it sink in. You have to... Oh, that's what you have to do. I think that they coddle them too much, they baby them, and that your peers to make you better. Left-hander added that he thought the newly implemented pitch clock was unnecessary because pitchers should be able to regulate themselves. Exactly, man. For every one Clay Buchholz, there's 5 or 6 Max Scherzers who are just going to grab the ball and chuck that bitch. And you know what? If you're not ready, well, fuck you. That's on you. The whole pitch clock is so fucking stupid, man. I was already checked out of the game by that time, but then when I heard they were going to be doing all of those things that just, kind of alienated fans at the minor leagues, and we'll just bring that to the major league level. It's like, fucking gamifying this shit. This is analytics, well said. They tell players certain things. To me, personally, it's ruining the game because I think, these guys don't have a free will to express themselves and go out there and find their own identity because they're having an identity brought to them. There's a game plan. Our game plan is to go out there and win. How are we going to do it? The best 9 guys are going to play. Fucking A right, David Wells. He's out there cooking, man. He's out there cooking the current state of the league, which is 1,000% on point, saying that Nike, well, you could call them woke. They're not any more or less woke than any other major brand that's out there. You can go ahead and call them out for being actual slave drivers. I'll be a little bit more on point, but, hey, man, you're going to go out there and roast Bud Light as well? Am I ever going to drink that shit again? Nope. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So, yeah, we'll have to see when baseball season comes back around. Is there going to be any more pointed attempts in order to get beer back in the stadiums? Because it is an intrinsic part of the game, right? But that's Budweiser's territory, and we know that their sales numbers definitely haven't slipped. Oh, wait, they totally have. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.